Nerd. I am Carla. For small nations, the best light fighter is the one that stays ready most days of the year. Today we compare the F-16.
Effectiveness means mission capability, pilot proficiency, maintenance tempo, and supply certainty, not just peak performance. The F-16 is a widely operated light fighter with deep interoperability, mature training ecosystems, and large global support networks.
Advancements. The JAS-39 Gripen is built around efficient operations, fast turnaround, and a design philosophy that prioritizes.
Smaller air forces often have fewer technicians, fewer spare engines, and fewer training hours, so simplicity and reliability matter.
Basing flexibility can define effectiveness, including runway length, surface quality, and how quickly aircraft can be dispersed.
A fighter that can generate more sorties per day with the same people often wins the effectiveness argument. Training matters as much as hardware, because a small nation needs fast, repeatable pathways from student to mission ready. Pilots need consistent flying hours to stay sharp, so operating costs and maintenance downtime directly affect combat readiness.
Modern effectiveness starts with sensors, because detection and tracking shape every mission decision before anything else.
Modern F-16 configurations emphasize updated avionics and active electronically scanned array radar options for improved situational awareness.
Gripen variants also focus on modern sensor fusion and active electronically scanned array radar families designed for multi-role flexibility.
For small nations, secure networking can multiply impact because fighters rarely operate alone in modern air defense. Interoperability means shared procedures, compatible communications, and easier integration into allied training and support.
Effectiveness is limited by spare parts flow, repair capacity, and how quickly components return to service. A large global user base can reduce risk by expanding training opportunities, spare pools, and upgrade pathways.
A smaller footprint can increase survivability by enabling dispersal and faster returns to readiness with fewer resources. Maintenance philosophy shapes daily reality. How easy it is to inspect, repair, and return an aircraft to flight.
Their turnaround time is strategic because higher tempo can offset a smaller fleet size.
Small nations often operate in demanding weather, so resilience to climate and corrosion becomes part of effectiveness.
Operating cost is not just fuel, it is people, parts, tools, training, and the time aircraft spend waiting for repairs.
A nation that can afford more flight hours usually builds better readiness and safer, more experienced crews.
Upgrade path matters because small nations cannot replace fleets often, so modernization must be predictable.
Integration flexibility is valuable, but effectiveness for small nations often comes from standardized loadouts and reliable logistics. Many small nations prioritize air policing and air defense readiness, where quick reaction and reliability are decisive.
Quick reaction alert effectiveness depends on startup reliability, maintenance discipline, and trained procedures.
Resilience can mean dispersal options, because surviving the first disruption can matter more than winning a perfect duel.
The most effective fighter is limited by the skill of maintainers, so training and documentation quality are strategic assets.
Lead times can decide readiness during crises, so suppliers, contracts, and repair depots become part of national planning. Partnership access can increase effectiveness through shared training, shared standards, and shared sustainment knowledge.
Compatibility with allied systems can expand options, but the real value is routine coordination and standardized procedures.
Small fleets require high availability, because a few grounded aircraft can change national coverage overnight.
Survivability is not only armor, it is detection, coordination, redundancy, and the ability to keep operating under stress.
Electronic awareness helps pilots avoid surprises, but effectiveness depends on training and disciplined use of onboard systems.
Modern radars improve detection and tracking reliability, and both families offer active electronically scanned array radar options in current versions.
Lower cockpit workload can improve effectiveness because pilots make better decisions when the interface supports them.
The true test is day 2. How quickly the aircraft is inspected, serviced, and ready again for another mission.
Peacetime missions build readiness, patrols, intercept identification, and training all depend on reliable aircraft availability.
The decision is a framework: infrastructure, alliance needs, sustainment capacity, and the mission set you must cover.
At the midpoint, effectiveness splits into two strengths. The F-16 often wins on Alpine alliance integration and broad ecosystem support.
If coastal air defense and patrol are primary, readiness and rapid response tempo can matter more than extreme range.
If dispersed basing is central, you measure which aircraft can sustain operations with limited facilities in smaller teams.
If your strategy relies on allied standardization, the depth of shared training and shared support may be the deciding factor.
Procurement risk includes delivery timing, long-term spares, and export approval that can change planning realities.
Small nations buy decades, not just aircraft, so life cycle planning matters as much as the first purchase.
Infrastructure costs can exceed expectations, so the best aircraft is the one your bases can truly support.
People are the limiting factor. Technicians, instructors, and planners are what keep jets flying, not just budgets.
A strong safety culture increases effectiveness, because fewer incidents mean more aircraft available and more pilots flying.
Mission flexibility matters, but for small nations, reliability across core tasks often beats maximum capability in rare tasks.
Performance looks great in brochures, but effectiveness is proven on ordinary days when the jet must launch on time.
Standardized training reduces risk and increases readiness, and it can be easier when many partners fly similar aircraft.
Local self-sufficiency increases effectiveness when supply lines are strained, and you must keep flying with what you have.
Long-term effectiveness includes fatigue management and inspections that prevent downtime from becoming permanent loss. Modern fighters live through software, and update cadence affects capability, training, and maintenance planning. Predictability can be more valuable than a lower headline price, because surprises are what break small budgets. Strategic alignment influences effectiveness, because access to training, parts, and upgrades often follows partnerships.
The fastest path to effectiveness is a realistic introduction timeline, training, spares, and procedures before full operations.
Retention matters because experienced people keep readiness high, and stable programs reduce turnover.
Footprint affects dispersal, cost, and staffing, and it often matters more than one additional feature on a specification sheet.
The key metric is mission-capable aircraft on a random day, because that number is what a small nation can truly deploy.
For air policing, responsiveness and reliability often outweigh maximum payload or extreme range features.
For deterrence, visible readiness and credible training count, and a smaller fleet must look consistently available. And for coalition operations, shared standards, compatible communications, and established logistics pipelines can create large advantages.
For dispersed defense, the ability to operate with limited support can increase survival and preserve national capability.
A practical decision tree starts with basing and manpower, then moves to partners, budget, and modernization needs.
The first question is not which jet is best, it is which jet you can keep mission ready with your real budget and people.
The F-16 tends to be most effective when a nation values deep allied integration, established supply networks, and broad training access.
The Gripen tends to be most effective when a nation prioritizes high availability with small teams and flexible basing under resource constraints.
This is not a simple winner-takes-all story, because effectiveness depends on the nation's geography, allies, and sustainment capacity. Small nations buy a system, aircraft, training, simulators, spares, maintenance tools, and long-term support agreements.
Success looks like consistent launches, predictable maintenance, and pilot.
This is the million-view angle. Two light fighters that prove effectiveness is built on readiness, not headlines.
If alliance interoperability is your top priority, ecosystem advantages can make the decision clearer.
If operational efficiency and dispersed readiness are your top priorities, footprint and turnaround can become the deciding factors.
The best choice is the one your budget can support for decades, because readiness is built slowly, and lost quickly. Prioritize the aircraft that lets you buy more pilot hours and more maintenance repetitions, because skill is the real multiplier.
Match the aircraft to your infrastructure, because building a perfect base for the wrong jet is the most expensive mistake. The F-16 often offers maximum ecosystem depth, while the Gripen often offers maximum operational efficiency for small teams.
In the end, small nations win by staying ready, staying trained, and choosing systems they can sustain without breaking.
I am Carla. Which light fighter is more effective for small nations depends on priorities. Choose the F-16 when alliance integration and global